Hey, there was a lot of news going on in the world of gaming this week. Short of a console release or an announcement, or these titles actually getting on store shelves. Yeah, I'm old. Yeah, this is one of the biggest gaming weeks I can recall, possibly ever, for a few reasons. Now, last night we had the Game Awards. Let's go ahead and get through that winner list. All right, so pulling this up from IGN, we've got the winners and the losers of the Game Awards. They're starting off a little backwards here. We've got Game of the Year, and that is Baldur's Gate 3, curiously enough, releases on the Xbox the day it wins Game of the Year. Wow, that's something. Now, had it not won, would it not have come to Xbox? I'm not sure. Seems like December 7th is a weird time to release a game. But then again, we also had Frontiers of Pandora, which I played last night. That's why I didn't watch the Game Awards, frankly. I was playing Far Cry X Avatar, and I will continue to do that on Twitch. I've got my Twitchversary last night, tonight, I think maybe tomorrow possibly, but yeah, I'm going to continue doing this through the weekend. If you want to go over to the Twitch, legendarybaddest.com redirects to my Twitch if you want to watch that. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the game all the way through at this point. I may just, cease at the end of the weekend and do a review proper. But Baldur's Gate 3, I've seen stuff about this. Everybody likes it. On the Xbox Store, it has a 98% 5-star rating, which is by far the best I've ever seen. It's absolutely astonishingly well received. One review says, buy the game. That's it. That's the review. Best game direction. Alan Wake 2, I think this is something more inclined to occur in a single-player game with chapters, not so much open world, highly scripted, and maybe Alan Wake gives you that experience. Also, best narrative Alan Wake 2, so it told a good story. Needed to play this. I haven't actually played the original Alan Wake. I've thought about picking up the remake. It's about $10 on occasion over on the Xbox Store. At some point, I will get to that. If Alan Wake 2 is on sale, I think I will get to that. I really will. Okay. Best art direction, Alan Wake 2. Wow. They must have felt pretty upset when they got snubbed for Game of the Year. But yeah, art direction kind of comes hand to hand with the game direction stuff, doesn't it? Best score / music. A Final Fantasy game won that. Not a real shocker there. Best audio design, Hi-Fi Rush, a game tailored around the concept of music while not actually being a rhythm game. I don't think it is. I had it installed, I uninstalled it to make room for other stuff. Best performance, Neil Newbon, Baldur's Gate 3, understandable. Idris Elba nominated for a DLC. So we're gonna do that, huh? Games for Impact, I don't even know any teachable moments. Best ongoing game, Cyberpunk 2077. No, that's not. That is a game that needs patches, and that doesn't mean it's an ongoing game. Ongoing game, Fortnite. Understandable. Apex Legends, Final Fantasy 14, Genshin Impact, I don't know about, but an MMO, RPG, the shooter sort of battle royale stuff, that's an ongoing game. Blizzard gonna be a little upset that Overwatch 2 didn't get nominated for this? I don't know. Best indie game, Sea of Stars. That garbage, for God's sake. You like it because it looks like something else you like from your childhood. A 1-hour tutorial guided session of doing nothing but getting you to hate the characters and the world. Give me a break. Best debut indie game. Cocoon, don't know anything about that. Were they up for not indie game also? Oh, they gotta feel kind of bad. Mobile game, we don't care. Best community support. This is an interesting category here. Recognizing game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, inclusive on social media activity. So that, yeah, this Baldur's Gate 3, that makes me feel like I want to play that. Like if I have issues, hey, we'll address that. Sure. Cyberpunk does a pretty good job with that. I will give them that. No Man's Sky, goodness sake, that game is nominated for something still. Best AR VR, you'll never see an Xbox game there. Innovation in accessibility. Forza Motorsport. Yeah, it's easier to drive a race car with a controller than a wheel and with pedals than actually sitting in it. Where's the accessibility there? Now, there is a game, Grounded. It has the most well-liked review in the Xbox store, and it's from a deaf mom saying, "Oh, I just love seeing my kids' words as they say them appear on the screen, yelling, 'Mom, run, there's a spider chasing you. Even though I died, I felt included.'" Now that is accessibility. Oh, and there's a picture of OD, Overdose. Yep, super hyper-realistic Hideo Kojima game coming to Xbox. Is this a setup? Is he giving us a bad game on purpose to punish us for not being Sony? We'll see. Best action game, Armored Core 6. Am I wrong, or has Armored Core been around long enough we could have 30 Armored Cores? I don't know. Best action adventure game, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Of course, Zelda had to get involved in this some way. We weren't going to snub Zelda altogether, were we? Though I am curious about the Switch's capabilities in the modern era. Yeah, have you seen Mortal Kombat 1 on the PS5 compared to the Switch? IGN did a video on that, so you know it's not for comedic purposes, but Jesus, that doesn't look like the same game. I'm hoping that the follow-up to Tears of the Kingdom, Fart of the Desert, is on the Switch too, which woefully should be announced and in stores by now. Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3. Needed to win that if it's going to win Game of the Year, don't you think? Best fighting game, Street Fighter 6. Is the best fighting game one where the throw overrides about any kind of move? Where you have a magic reverse move that if you're punching me and I hit the reverse, now you have an opportunity to, while I'm reversing you, to reverse me. That's your best fighting game. Your best fighting game has a Costume 3 come out for the Fighting Grounds characters. That's the real Street Fighters. To the tune of $100 to buy everybody's Costume 3. That's your best fighting game. Your best fighting game where you have people make avatars and then buy $20 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skin suits so you can dress up like Raphael. That's your best fighting game. Best family game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. A mainline Nintendo Zelda or Mario game is never going to not win anything. They're always going to win. And it's not the case of them saying, hey, we can't put on the Game Awards without Nintendo. They got to win something, or we should throw something at them. It's really that Nintendo knows what they're doing, and they don't give you a bunch of garbage. They don't go out there putting out things that are broken. They have standards, something that we don't really have in a lot of industries anymore. Best sports racing game, Forza Motorsport. Ooh, boy, that's got a kind of sting there. I don't see a Madden. I don't see an NBA 2K. That's interesting. So those games got to get it together, definitely. Best sim strategy game, Pikmin 4. Don't know a lot about Pikmin. Nintendo property, right? Best multiplayer game, Baldur's Gate 3. Never struck me as... I really don't know enough about Baldur's Gate, clearly, but is it PvE and some PvP? I don't know. Like the trailers I've seen, it says like assemble your party. So yeah, multiple people, I'm assuming. Content Creator of the Year, shouldn't be a category. Best Esport Athlete, Faker. I'm assuming these are all Russians and Koreans, don't know. Esport Coach, I don't know you can even coach that. Best Esport Event, League of Legends. Ooh, extra burn here, no Overwatch League. You know, that's just folded. Esport Game, Valorant winner. Don't know anything about that. Best Esport Team, JD Gaming, never heard of them. Most anticipated game, shouldn't be a category. That is like, hey, I enjoyed the trailer for that game. Best adaptation, The Last of Us. No interest in The Last of Us. I feel like we've had zombie TV show for over 10 years. It's called The Walking Dead. Player's voice. Maybe that's what everybody was allowed to vote for. Baldur's Gate 3. So you weren't actually allowed to vote for the Game Awards, just one specific award. So there's that. And yeah, I guess, you know, it's like Rotten Tomatoes. The tomato meter and the viewer vote all in alignment, so you can't really disagree too much. Though I do find it funny the people who were demanding that Resident Evil 4 remake, and it's listed as such here by IGN, Resident Evil 4 remake, that should win Game of the Year. I'm telling you, you don't want that genie to come out of the bottle with a frankly lamp. Genies belong in a lamp. You don't want to go down that path of allowing remakes to win this stuff, because then you end up like the Oscars, irrelevant. Oh, but that's not all that transpired in gaming this week. Obviously, we had the trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6, super anticipated game that everybody and their mom wants to play. Even my mom, and I'm shielding her from it. A retired children's librarian has no business playing Grand Theft Auto. It looks like a lot to do in the game. Of course, takes place in Vice City. People are complaining. It's Grand Theft Auto Florida Man. You see a lot of the sort of meme-like activity that is going on in the news, and it looks like they clearly tried to get modern. Vice City, it took place in the 80s, and now this is the modern kind of mayhem and the twerking and all of that. The alligator walks in the convenience store, all this sort of stuff. There are complaints. Not a single white man in the trailer. I spotted a lot of white people. I spotted a lot of everybody was doing something, some debauchery. There wasn't a good figure here, except for maybe Lucia, our new protagonist, female, Hispanic. I think it's interesting to go this way. We've had a lot of games where you're some super marine from space, ultra badass. I get to be that every day, so I like to play games where I get to be somebody other than myself for a change. So I'm totally okay with that. And I think that the biggest surprise over at the Game Awards is actually SEGA saying, hey, we got a big announcement. They show a trailer that is not just a trailer for a game. Of course, we're thinking with SEGA, it's going to be one of two things. Retro console, people are hoping for a Dreamcast, Sonic game. But this is SEGA remembering that they own other IPs. Yeah, they're showing off a new Streets of Rage, which we had a Streets of Rage 4 recently, so I'm not really sure how this is that dead, but also Golden Axe, Shinobi, sticking with a 2D, looks like something of a bullet hell adventure game. I see him riding the wolf, or is it a dog? That's going to be really cool. A new Crazy Taxi. This is something they've been sitting on for way too long, and that actually looks really cool. But I think that the piece de resistance, however you pronounce that everybody's really looking forward to here is actually Jet Set Radio. Now, wasn't it Jet Grind Radio, Jet Set Radio Future? So it should just be called the Jet Set franchise. But the graphics here look really impressive. And being all Sega stuff, I'm expecting multi-plat release. This is probably going to be available on the PlayStation, on the Xbox. Heck, this stuff might make its way to the Switch, even though it can barely run anything. So what do you think? Did the Game Awards get stuff right? We know you're looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6. What did you think of the stuff from Sega? Let me know.